Hey there, gorgeous gays. Version 2 here with reacting to Indie World Showcase 8.11.21 2021 hyphen Nintendo Switch. More indies for the Switch. Hey, I know one thing at least that happens in this because I saw it on Twitter because I follow the account because it's about a fucking Australian game. But beyond that, I don't know. And even that is still exciting, and I'm still going to yell at it and go, "Oh, look at this! Go buy it!" Which, now that it's on Switch, I'll buy it, and I'll probably stream it at some point. I don't know the length of it, so I might stream the entire thing in one stream. If it's 6 hours or less. But I'm not sure. But I'm very excited for it. It's a visual novel. And it's so good. I played it at PAX ages ago. Only thing I know from this, I don't know about anything else, so, you know, I can see the dots there, so it looks like there's quite a bit there. So I'm going to try to not accidentally put the mouse on any of that part of it, because otherwise it will tell me what is around. But anyway, we're going to, yeah, more indies, yay. These are always good. I always end up buying, like, at least a couple things from each one of these. Whether I get around to playing them is an entirely different story, because I have so little time to play things on top of, you know, all the things that I play for you lovely people to watch. That's why whenever I see a game, I'm just like, damn, I should LP that, because I know it is nowadays the most likely way to get me to play something. Back when I was doing a lot less videos, it was just, if I let's play something, I know it means I'm gonna take longer at it than usual. I'm gonna take longer no matter what games I do now. So now if I LP it, it's just, oh, now I'll actually get around to playing it. Same over here, always buy more indies more. Yeah, I mean, outside of the fact that they're cheaper, so it's a lot easier to buy more of them. Even if indies are the type of thing where because I'm someone who has a level of expendable income, especially now, I finished dealing at the government today, so now they'll actually give me the money to make up for the fact that we're in lockdown and I've lost hours. Yay. Even if I don't end up playing it, indies are always the type of thing where I'll buy it just to show support if I really like the idea. And if I get around to playing it, then it's just a bonus. Because, you know, indies are good and you should support them. Anyway, we're going to watch this. And I bet it's going to blast out the audio for everything here. But, you know, that's just... That's loud. Yeah, it's loud. I think that's fine. I'm going to leave it at that, and people can yell at me if they can't hear me. For me, my tastes are usually more niche than offer me stuff I'm into. Also this. For me, they do things that you don't see in major games, because major games can't afford to spend money on an idea that's not going to land.
You'll find your next indie favorite. Are you ready? Then off we go.
Oh, is this the Jet Set Radio one? There's supposed to be enough times it was live, I don't remember what was in it. Hell yeah. You know, we've seen this, right? I don't remember specifically which one this is, because I remember seeing a number of games that are definitely Jet Set Radio inspired to carry on the legacy, but I don't remember which one this is. But much Cyberpunk, it is this one, yeah. Had enough money to just throw at indies. Nowadays I do, so I do.
Me too.
I do not have enough space on my memory card to store all the indie games that I've purchased on the Switch. That's so... Although I've only got a 32 gigabytes of this app.
But as you expand your crew with additional playable characters and make use of the intuitive trick system to get around town, you'll edge closer to becoming an all-city king.
I mean, I never played any of the original Jet Set Radio games. But I know how much people love this, and the aesthetic and look of this game is great, so... Dude, you do graffiti artists by doing basically fighting game inputs? I love it. Just do pretzel motions to tag the streets. I love it. Ah, time console exclusive. Hold on, Steam till to play it? I didn't even realize it was out on Steam. Oh, whistle along to the music. Okay, yeah, seeing this panned out shot of these little isolated, like, environmental areas, this is a beautiful art style. I need photos of Spider-Man! Sorry. Low-hanging fruit. I couldn't avoid it. Are you playing as a sheep, by the way? Toem, a photo adventure. There's a whole bunch of camera photo games that are around for indies now, and it's great. Go play Dear Future. That's the one I'll yell about for photos, because it's completely different to everything else. Go yell at Dear Future. The whole point of the game is that you take one photo. There's been one level that's been generated that everyone plays on, and you take one photo and pass on your one photo to the next player. In the journey of, hopefully someone one day will be able to experience the ending. And then when that person experiences the ending, the world resets and then it goes again. It is a fucking fascinating concept.
Hey, that's a nice one.
Very, like, experimental and indie, but it's a really cool thing. Video quiet? Yes. I've been told that things are quiet.
With its charming hand-drawn style, you'll explore
Turn down on
different
my end,
regions
'cause I'm saying it up a
inspired
little
by
bit.
the Scandinavian countryside.
Looking forward to Fatal Frame.
Quirky
Fatal
characters,
Frame, yeah,
solve
Fatal Frame 5
problems
is actually coming out on the
eat
Switch. It's being
snacks
ported
with
from the Wii U,
camera.
right?
And make your way through a
Oh, you mean Jet Set
relaxing
Radio?
landscape while listening
For
to
the
some
Bomber
totally
Cyberpunk on
chill beats.
Steam.
Get ready to say cheese when Toem arrives this fall.
That's adorable. Don't know if I'll buy it, but like it's adorable and people should definitely buy it. Very cute. Okay, immediately aesthetically, I mean, it's like holy shit. I don't know if I've seen something that has hit this specifically hard with old school pixel art because of the either filtering or shading on top of it. I don't know exactly what it is they're doing to the pixel art to give it that vibe, but fuck. They're nailing it in a way I ain't fucking seen in a while. Like, it's not quite CRT filtering because there's no scan lines or anything, but fuck.
Hey, Ariko, does it feel like we're going in circles here?
Don't worry, Tyler. That's just how Loop Hero works. Instead of playing as the hero, you craft adventures for them by creating.
Okay, that was a trailer thing. That was a trailer
Each
thing.
mystical card you play forms
Part of a game that's been on PC for a while, but I've heard good stuff about it. Okay.
Loot and fight along. Place cards strategically to help them.
Okay,
conquer
the
loop
pixel art is still
and do it
gorgeous,
all
but that filter I was talking about was a trailer thing, not an in-game thing. Okay. The pixel art's still fantastic.
Future adventures. Between expanding the survivor's campsite and fending off devious guardians, keeping them alive takes strategy, balance, and skill. Especially if you want to defeat the time-bending Lich.
Break the spiral and save the world when Loop Hero arrives on Nintendo Switch.
I mean, even just
this
gameplay-wise, that's a very fascinating game. Very, very different to anything I've seen. Still a bit quiet. It's always so. At least now I'm being told that it's quiet. At least because before it's just like it's too loud, and then when I actually put it in there, it's just like I can't even hear it. We're almost at max volume, so I'm gonna have to start editing. I'm like increasing the volume in OBS soon. So I'll just max it out on this one as well. I think it is like loud as shit on my end, but I have my audio settings very different to what you hear. Audio hard for streaming. Really fucking hard for streaming. This is one hell of a ship, submarine, sailboat they've got going on. So is this meant to be off in the far distant future of 3 decades in the future when the world's flooded with climate change? Is that the idea? Far change. Oh, so it's a sequel to the game that they said they made before. Okay.
Hoi, ich bin Ron Schmocker, Co-Founder und Creative Lead von Automotive. Ich freue mich sehr, euch Far-Changing Tides zu zeigen, unserem atmosphärischen Fahrzeug-Adventure und den nächsten Teil im Fahruniversum. Wir haben schon früh gewusst, dass wir noch mehr Geschichten im Universum zu erzählen haben.
It's always so cool that when Nintendo say indie worlds, they fucking mean it.
Wir freuen uns, Far-Changing Tides nächstes Jahr auf Nintendo Switch zu bringen und wünschen euch viel Spaß dabei.
It's always good to say they fucking mean it when they say world.
A boy, his ship, and an ocean that stretches as far as the eye can see. Who'd have thought that the apocalypse would ever be so relaxing?
And yet it is. In this stirring puzzle-solving adventure,
I think if that's the vibe that you're going for, the vibe of relaxing apocalypse, that's Breath of the Wild. So, like, going for a vibe similar to that is a genius idea because it's really fucking good and not that common.
Set in a beautifully realized
Hear an echo now.
world. It's an
Deku's on phone,
emotionally
okay.
journey that
I was gonna
anyone
say, I
can
feel like it
enjoy.
is loud.
Whether
Well, if I
you
turn it down on
enjoy
my end, there'll be less echo.
series, car loan sales, or not.
Set sail for the horizon in far, changing tides. Coming to the Nintendo Switch system next year.
Is this it? Is this it? Yes! Buy this! Buy the fuck out of this! Collingwood, that's a suburb in Victoria. Because this game takes place in Melbourne. So this is a visual novel, Necro Barista. I played this at PAX a few years ago, and it is the presentation of it as a visual novel is fucking stellar. It is so good.
That smells both rich and satisfying. I bet it's got enough
And, like,
caffeine to wake the dead.
We all got to play like the very opening of the game, and the world building in that alone was fantastic.
Aromatic atmosphere go hand in hand in this anime-style experience, where the dead get one last night to mingle with the living and discuss the finer points of life and death over a beverage or two.
Immerse yourself in new story content and enjoy remastered visuals in this expanded director's cut of the original game. There's even
Fuck
a new
yes.
studio mode where you can create your own dialogue and stories.
Make yours a grande with Necro Barista Final Pour.
I have a story creator in that.
Exclusive
Damn.
on Nintendo Switch later today.
That game's fucking sick.
Updates. Let's quickly catch up on several games we
Oh yeah, we're doing Indie World. What's up, Chaos?
that you can play today.
After this, we're doing Pokemon, but right now it's
Time to grow
Indie World.
your
Go
own
buy
adventure.
Necro Barista.
Become the guardian of the grove and explore a vibrant island to inspire its
Again, at some point, I'm definitely gonna stream it.
Fend off the
From what I've heard,
evading
the length is short enough. I could probably knock it out in one of those like big long full days, like all day streams that I do.
and do everything you can to help restore
But
the
because
community.
it's an expanded version of it, maybe not. It might take 2 streams. I don't know.
Story.
I'll definitely do it at some point.
Console
But obviously, you should also
exclusive
go out and buy
on
it.
Nintendo Switch later today.
I think we've seen that at previous indie
Just
worlds.
with the sword. Date one. In this
Oh, this was part of this. Okay.
Use the in-game cash you
I heard Boyfriend Dungeon came out. I didn't realize it was actually featured in the indie worlds.
outings. Multiple combat styles just means more cuties to forge relationships.
Yeah,
After all,
your swords are boys and you get to date them, and obviously I have a type, so I know which sword I want to choose.
and Boyfriend Dungeon, cleaving its way onto Nintendo Switch later today.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, I absolutely have to
In
buy
this
that.
prequel to the original
I won't be
action
streaming or anything, but I'm absolutely gonna buy it.
fights for her life, empowered by the same microscopic machines that gradually consume her humanity. With 2 interconnected worlds to explore, hack, and fight your way through, walk that thin line between dream and nightmare as you discover the origins of the Axiom Verge universe.
I was about to say, this looks very different to what I know Axiom Verge
Later today.
visually speaking. The stuff that I've seen of Axiom Verge 1 is like Cthulhu, Lovecraftian pixel art. That didn't look quite like that. That looks like it's a very different like aesthetic to the first game. Oh, Shovel Knight! Pocket Dungeon! Okay, so this is this coming out before Shovel Knight Dig is coming out there? Shovel Knight's fantastic. Like, the whole treasure trove, oh god. Oh god. Treasure trove should, like, it shouldn't be possible for a game to be, like, that good with all of its expansion and them all being, like, as rock solid as they are. Obviously, there's, like, Plague Knights. I don't even call it bad, I just call it a missed opportunity given what the other expansions became. But it's still good. I mean, that's more of a matching game, so I don't know how much I'd actually be into it, but there's that.
Thrilled to announce today
Shovel Knight as a franchise isn't allowed to sleep. No, it is not. Shovel Knight Dig's still gotta happen, and it still has to show up in every other indie game ever made. So does a boyfriend. I've seen intuition with that concept, but reverse. Or was that in Hero G? Well, it seems like... Well, from what I understand, Boyfriend Dungeon is a roguelike, but in between that, you date sword boys. And not like the sword boys that you want to leave out of their house because they have so many of them mounted on the wall kind of sword boys. I mean boys who are swords.
Shovel Knight to take the next step into a new gameplay dimension with Pocket Dungeon.
Now show off my proudest thing that I have. Yeah, I got one of the gold Shovel Knights. I also got the normal Shovel Knight. I also have the other 3 up there, but I can't reach them from here, so I can't show them off.
With Puzzle Knight by your side, fight foes, recover relics, and battle bosses.
That'd be another thing that I would want to LP someday, the Shovel Knight games. It's just, if I was to LP them, I'd want to 100% them. But then that would mean 100%ing the feats for those games, and I don't feel up to the challenge for that. It's the type of thing where I wouldn't even want to start LPing those unless I have a lot more time to stream, because trying to complete all the feats in all of those games would take me the rest of my life. You have to beat all 4 campaigns without dying for feats in each one. It's like, I don't know about that. So I think this is not my type of game. I don't like match 3 Bejeweled style games. I've played enough to realize that it's just not a game style that I'm into at all. But for people who are, that's cool. But they got Shovel Knight ones. Go into dungeon to get money for dates with weapon waifu. And also swing around weapon waifu. Honest to God, Chaos, I don't even remember. I don't even remember. It's been so long since I've played Rise, honest to God, I don't remember. Islanders, okay. Not something I've heard of. Okay. City sim building stuff. Not my thing.
That's always been my motto. And in this quirky,
And I seem to distinctly remember the last Indie World was just like a million games that were very specifically me. So it's fine if we have one where not everything is for me. I mean, hell, there's still Necrobarista and Boyfriend Dungeon for this. So, like, those are me.
When you can't build any further, just start from scratch.
Like, just because the game's not for me doesn't mean I think it's bad or anything. It's just, you know, I know what I like. I know what I don't find is interesting, and you know, city building stuff is just not my thing. Match 3 games aren't my thing.
in no time at all.
The world is yours to build in Islanders Console Edition.
Although I can't deny the irony of a game being called Islanders, and it looks like it is a little bit of a colonialism simulator. But maybe there's stuff underneath the game that doesn't mean that. This is Metal Slug. Does Metal Slug count as indie? I feel like I've had this discussion before. Metal Slug Tactics? Am I looking at Metal Slug Tactics? Have we known this is a thing before? My brain wants to say yes, but my brain also says no. I know, it seemed like I distinctly remember seeing Metal Slug appear in something else that we've seen. But I don't know if it was specifically Metal Slug Tactics. Because I feel like I remember going on about how fucking gorgeous the pixel art is in Metal Slug games. And how they're some of the best pixel art ever made. Because, I mean, look at what you just saw. Yeah, literally Metal Slug Tactics. It's SNK, that's not indie. SNK is not indie? It was shown before? I just seem to remember mentioning that.
C'était important pour nous de trouver une nouvelle voie, à la fois pour rendre hommage aux épisodes principaux de la série, mais aussi pour proposer une nouvelle expérience aux fans.
Le développement avance bien et nous avons hâte que vous puissiez y jouer l'année prochaine.
Here's a fresh take on Metal Slug that
Okay, so I guess that's why it's indie, because the devs themselves, I mean, if the dev is, like, the whole point of indie is that it's independent, which means the devs are the publishers. If the devs have a publisher, then I guess that doesn't mean it's indie or independent. But if it's an indie studio who normally do indie projects who are developing it, I guess that's why it counts. Indie nowadays just means small team. Small team meaning under 200 people.
By any means possible. Position your troops correctly on the battlefield, and you'll even be able to use the sync skill to deal extra damage with multiple heroes.
Like, look at that thing! Look how good it looks! It's pixel art! Ah, it's so ridiculous. Then the actual dev studio industry licensing the property from SNK. I mean, I guess it's the same as, like, Cadence of Hyrule, right?
And I'm Eileen. I work on PR and production.
Like, Cadence of Hyrule is made by indie devs.
Excited to announce that Tetris Effect Connected is coming to Nintendo Switch.
Oh, shit!
テトリスのゲームを作るのは私の夢でした。開発チーム全員で
I've heard incredible things about Tetris Effect. I haven't gotten around to playing it myself because I'm bad at Tetris and I'm scared. but I've heard incredible things about Tetris Effect.
皆さんがどこにいても遊べるようになるのでとても楽しみです。
Check it out.
Said Tetris Effect, what was the subtitle?
You might have already played Tetris.
Is it a different version of the game on Switch?
Is something different. It's the iconic puzzle game, but one that goes to another plane of enlightenment.
As well as the single-player journey mode, take on your friends competitively in zone battle locally or online, or play connected.
Also, I think this is a different version of the game because the version that I've seen in all things has significantly more particle effects going on than what I'm currently seeing. Although I don't know if I've seen multiplayer in the other ones. Tetris Effect looks intense. I think that's the point of why people love it. It's basically Res but Tetris, which I honestly don't know if there's a more. I mean, it's literally made by it's enhanced games. Like it's literally Res, right? Like it's Res as Tetris, and I don't know if there's an idea in the world that meshes together so perfectly than one of the most pure, flawless concepts of that combined with pure synesthesia. Again, I've heard incredible things about it. I just haven't played it. Real good with VR if you can. If I get VR, I'm going to load up Res and do Area X in VR, and then nothing else in my life will be as good as what that experience will be. And I'll just have to live the rest of my life content in knowing that I've peaked. And I'll stream that, but I might get banned from Twitch for excessive crying. Lumberjack? That sounds familiar, but it looks adorable as shit anyways. And also, Slime Ranger and Astroneer. They're big games. I didn't realize they went on Switch. Actually, Astroneer I don't think I've ever seen. Curious Expedition 2. As that volcano is popping, fuck off. Giant Crab! Gang Beasts! Hey! Gang Beasts, but what if the frame rate was less? Switch. That's why we need that Switch Pro for indie games, you know?
There's an update on another game coming to Nintendo Switch very soon from our friends at Chucklefish.
Oh, this looks familiar as shit. Oh, this looks ridiculously familiar as shit. How do I know this? How do I know this? This looks really fucking familiar. I'm pretty sure I've seen this Eastwood. Oh, that feels so familiar. That feels really familiar.
It's nearly time to head eastward. Coming to Nintendo Switch.
That sounds really familiar. I've either seen it in one of these directs before, or I've played it at PAX or something. This seems really familiar. The long white hair, especially on.
There are so many diverse indie games to be found on Nintendo Switch.
There's some. I've seen that somewhere before. I've definitely fucking seen that somewhere before.
And publishing partners around the world.
As always, a big thank you.
I have seen that somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know where, but I feel like I have fucking seen it somewhere.
Don't forget to follow our official Twitter account.
That's from
at
somewhere.
Indie World.
I've definitely seen this. Like them, they look so familiar to me, and the rest of the art style does too. I've seen this somewhere, but I can't think of where. but I can't think of where. It might just be in another direct that we've seen it in, and it's just reminding me of something that I've played of PAX, but there's something at PAX that is just like really making me go, oh fuck, I think I played that there. But I could be thinking of another game that just has that similar Earthbound inspired like pixel art kind of style, with like a similar like dystopian setting. So it looks like shit was falling apart in some parts there. Oh, I can't remember. Either way, it looks good. Either way, it looks very interesting, and it's out in like a month. So damn. Necrobarista, go buy Necrobarista. Go buy this one. Go buy this one. It's Australian indie developers, and I need to yell at everyone as much as possible to go buy Australian-made indie games, because holy fuck, if you're making indie games in this fucking country, then all the fucking power to you, because you get no support in any capacity to do that in this country. Pokemon Presents was a banger. Well, I haven't seen it yet. I'm doing indies right now, and I care more about indies than Pokemon, if I'm being perfectly honest. At some point, I will stream this. At some point, I will stream Necrobarista, but I don't know how long it's gonna be because, you know, I've already doing a million other things, and I shouldn't start something else to do that. Even if it only takes me one stream, I probably shouldn't. But you know, I think there's a lot of stuff here that looks cool. It's just it's either I'm disconnected from like. Bomber Cyberpunk looks cool. I've just never played original Jet Set Radios. Toem, again, looks good. But, you know, chill, peaceful, going around taking photo things. Like, I need to learn something specific that is just like, yo, sell it on this. Or I need, like, personal recommendations for something like that. Loop Hero looks great. Far Changing Tides is like a sequel, but it still looks good. Garden Story we've seen before. Boyfriend Dungeon, I'm picking that up. I'm definitely going to get that. Axiom Verge 2, I've heard great things about 1, but, you know, again, I got to play 1. Pocket Dungeon's not for me. Islanders is not for me. So, like, there's a lot of things here where it's just like, yeah, like, I'm aware that I am not the target audience for this, but, you know, there's nothing here that I think looks bad. Like, if you're the type of person who will enjoy those things, then you'll probably super enjoy it. Again, I seem to distinctly remember the last Indie World was one where I'm just like, fuck, there's like 6 things here that I'm buying. I distinctly remember that in the last Indie World. And that's the cool thing about just the Indie Worlds and just indie games in general, is just how much different shit you get there. I mean, in this, there's a Melbourne Laneway Cafe inspired visual novel that features Ned Kelly as a character. Ned Kelly is one of the fucking people who's come back from the dead in this. And then there's Boyfriend Dungeon, a roguelike where your swords are boys and you date them and then you kill monsters with them. You're not going to see either of those fucking things in AAA development. Like, the closest thing we get to that is Hades, in which case you go and do a roguelike by attacking a shitload of people and half of the bosses that you fight are your boyfriend. But, you know, it's not the same as your weapons are your boyfriends. And Hades isn't even AAA anyways. So, it's just probably bigger budget than what Gear Fox is. And that's... Like, AAA roguelike is Returnal, and that's completely different. But yeah, anyway, Necrobarista and Boyfriend Dungeon are definitely 2 for me. Eastwood, again, I'm gonna look that up afterwards, because I swear I fucking remember this. I'm like 50% sure you date your weapons in Xenoblade 2. Do you date them, or are they just anime women with big boobs that you're around constantly, and they're just like, it's not like I like you, Babaka. Which direction does that go in? You can see it from the likes of Suda51. I mean, I'm doing... Didn't Suda51, or at least Grasshopper Manufacture, didn't they literally already do a roguelike and it's called Let It Die? Isn't Let It Die a roguelike? Or is it something... Or is it not a roguelike and I've just been misconfused on what the concept of that game is the whole time? I mean, I was going to say in Necrobarista that it is the most dynamically presented visual novel that I've ever seen. And I said this when I first saw Necrobarista. I now do have to change that to the second most dynamically presented visual novel that I've ever seen, because I've now started playing Suda51 Grasshopper Manufacture's The Silver Case. But this is still second. It's a Dark Souls-ish game? Oh, okay. Then yeah, I've been misunderstood on what Let It Die is this whole time. But yeah, no, I'm definitely going to be doing Necrobarista on stream at some point. I'm not saying it's anytime soon, but like within the next year. Again, I'll probably try to just make a full day stream out of it, just knock out the game in one stream. I've really very much realized with certain streams that I've done over the past year that doing an entire stream of an entire game that's like a like around the 6 hour mark or even a bit longer, of just starting a game and finishing the game that stream, just doing that, I very much realized that is one of my favorite ways to stream. With just certain games that we've done that with, it is very much, I fucking love doing those streams. They're some of my most favorite streams that I've ever done. So I could do that for Necrobarista. Again, from what I've heard from when it came out on Steam, from people I know, because a lot of people I know are into this, because a lot of people I know went to PAX and played it there and were blown away by it. It is quite short in terms of it's a couple or a few hours. But this is an expansion with Final Pour. I don't know how long that's going to be. Because if it's like 8 hours, I'd probably do that as 2 4-hour things. But if it's 6 hours, I'd do it as 1 6-hour thing. But that's going to happen at some point. I'm not going to stream Boyfriend Dungeon, but I'm going to pick it up. Just because I can't get into the habit of just, I should stream every roguelike I play. Because that will go badly. Because they're fucking roguelikes and I'm really bad at them. I won't even beat them, let alone actually fucking... I'll just be like, alright, here's episode 6,000 of my roguelike LP that I can't fucking beat. Yay! I'm already scared about not being able to beat Returnal, for fuck's sakes. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll end it here. Yeah, Indie World. Indie Worlds are always good. Go buy Necrobarista. It's the Australian one. I must stand. I have no choice, but also it's fantastic. And I mean, also look at this character. Do I have a choice? No, I don't. I mean, honestly, even I think she's the main character. She's the barista, and she's the medium who talks to the dead. At least from my understanding of what I played from the demo several years ago. But even her. But you know, especially wherever that other girl was, who's now been lost to time because they only get 1 day to come back. That's the point of the video game. Anyway, I'm out of here. I'll see you on the next Indie World / probably Necrobarista stream at some point. So until then, this is Version2. Signing out.